case study number 7. This is a very interesting case study because when we're helping this family, young couple, and both husband and wife, they are working. They are both permanent residents in Singapore. So they do hold, of course, an existing property when we first met them. So let's have a look. They already held a 2-bedder condo at District 16. They were already living in the property. It's not for tenancy. It's basically for their own matrimonial home. And because of the status as a PR, you do have to pay a 5% ABSD on your property purchase if it's your first property. So let's just have a look at the scenario back then. So when they first bought basically the property, we met them while they were at the age of 32 years old. So basically this property, they first purchased it from the resale market. And at age 32, this 2-bedder that they were holding on, it had made a slight profit margin. Not a lot, because when they bought it, it was probably in the range of close to about $800,000. So they were seeing like a very marginal jump. They have held it for about 3 to 4 years already, and they are thinking about what's next. So their plan is that how can they then start to expand their portfolio, because they're also doing well in their jobs, singularly, dual income, and they are trying to see, is there a possibility for them to expand into 2 sets of different properties, one for rental and one basically for their own needs. So because of the fact that they are both PRs, of course in Singapore, you are allowed to buy HDB resale property. However, the key criteria is that both PRs must be married and both must have the PR status for at least 3 years. And that is a key criteria to own a HDB resale property. For them, they are on the expansion kind of investment mentality. So what happened was that we then analyzed the existing 2-bedder. We felt that at that point in time, during that particular year, the movement in terms of pricing was pretty, I would say, I wouldn't use the word stagnation, but I would say that in terms of the increase, in terms of year-by-year valuation gain, it was not really doing very well, because they had already enjoyed that profit cycle when the property has TOP'd, but they were basically the family that bought over that newly TOP property, hold it for about 4 years, and thus we helped them to exit at $850,000, and then we moved them to a 3-bedroom, also in the East area, at $1.2 million. So back then, when they first bought this property, after we shifted them, they were about 33 years old of age, and then that was the time that they started to want to expand. So after they have settled this property, 1 year later, what happened was that they started to ask us to plan for the second one, which is this one. So they took about 1 year to renovate, settle down, move in, and they have a baby already. And then they wanted to take their time just to settle down for about 1 year. So take note that when you want to do an expansion of portfolio, you don't have to rush into doing it like immediately. And of course, some families do prefer to do it concurrently at the same time, get a purchase for own stay, get another one for rental investment. But if you are at a life stage that you don't want to feel very anxious doing so many things at one go, because sometimes moving your own home can be quite a stressful event. And while you need to navigate your professional work, your kids, childcare needs, relocation needs, movers and stuff like that, you also want to have time to renovate, get new furnitures and stuff, you can actually take a 1 year period if that is really not in a rush. So, but most importantly, the key fundamental kind of concept is that your primary property should not be a property that you time the market, because this is your primary property. If you were to time the market, you will go out to rent. Eventually, this main pivot home might create a situation where if we are in a bull run situation, you might be priced out very easily. So once this is settled, by the time just 1 year later, the valuation has increased to 1.3 million. And then what happened was that we helped them to purchase a new launch property with the ideation that once this property hits its TOP, we'll see how it's the performance. If the performance is good, we can help them to exit. If the performance is not really significant in terms of valuation appreciation, at the TOP stage, we call this the herd mentality effect. Then we can just rent it out until the valuation picks up.